Yeah, so I just finished the list and I'm going to email that over to you. You'll have that shortly and
Yeah.
we'll be good to go for next week.
Yeah, no, I'll do those things for sure, for sure. I was also thinking we could branch out a little in our content. Like,
Okay.
have you heard of these things like life hacks?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, I'm a married man with kids. You're a married man with kid for the moment. Like, you need to like cover because you need to go out for a date and whatnot, and your friends with kids need to go out for dates, right?
Oh, yeah.
So like, you'll have them over, kind of thing, and whatnot, and look after their kid, and they go out for a date. But this is the hack part: you don't give them back. You just keep them, and you say, no, $1,500, 2,000, you can have the kid back. Now you're making money, and you're helping your friend out have a good time.
Yeah, that's not a life hack. That's just kidnapping.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. I got another one. Okay. All right. You're on a date, right?
All right.
You're on a date. You went to a nice place, maybe too nice. You spent like $300, $500 on dinner, and you're like, didn't know that place was so swanky. On your way back to your car, you just you punch somebody and steal their wallet. Now that meal is free. That's the hack. You get the meal and it's free. Okay, okay, wait.
So that's
wait,
just
wait. I know you don't like
assault
that.
and robbery. Life hacks aren't crimes. Those are just crimes. Life hacks are like putting lemon in vinegar and baking soda and saving yourself some money on soap. Oh, Josh.
I might not understand what a life hack is.
It's okay. We'll get you there. So, welcome to the podcast. This is the Broken Media Podcast, and my name is Mitch again, and this is my good buddy Josh over here.
Yeah, and we're broken on the inside.
And sometimes
dead.
on the outside. So, get a
No
quick little info
thumbs.
about us. A couple tech enthusiasts. We've got lots of interests in computers and gaming, in just general kind of technology,
Yeah.
everything from phones to computers to tablets and
We're not experts by
anything
any
else you can
means.
come in. Not experts, but
we're
we
having
can
a
figure it
journey.
out. We can figure it out for sure.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of things to talk about today, a couple stories for everybody, something to do with something going on with Forza Horizon, little news article from CNN. It's not a brand new article or anything like that, but still very vital information that not everybody might know. Hopefully you know about the dangers of some of these USB charging stations that are public. We're going to get into a little bit of information about what's a core, what's a thread, and a CPU today as well, and maybe a little bit more into workings of a processor and a motherboard. And then we got a few of our W or L takes, is what we like to call it. We take a look at 3 different clips. We call it W or L because this is a win or a loss. So we'll see that. We have something from YouTube, something from TikTok, something from Instagram, and maybe Josh and I will agree. Maybe we won't, and maybe it'll be a big.
Maybe we'll get into a knife fight. That's a possibility.
Anything's possible.
I'm going for the lungs.
At the end of today, too, we're going to just talk about a couple creators that we like, some people that inspire us. Some of them might be pretty obvious. Some of them you might have heard of. Some of them maybe not. So if we can turn you on to somebody new as well, it's always a success for them, success for us, and success for you if you find somebody new that you like.
Let's turn them on.
There we go. So getting into it a little bit right now.
And we're going to have some laughs along the way. That's just
right.
Who we are.
This isn't going to be a serious reading of technical forums or anything like that. That's not what's going on.
They have the internet on computers now.
So we're going to start up with a little bit with our current setups. We'll be doing that for the next few weeks. So Josh, for now, what do you got going on?
All right. This is a semi-recent purchase. My first pro-esque, you'd call it, mechanical keyboard, fully hot swappable. It's true, man. These mechanical keyboards are just a joy.
They can be
Like
very addictive too.
from the sounds that they make. Oh, I can. This could be a hobby if I'm not careful. So this is the model I got.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. What's the red button at the top?
That's a little knob. It does volume. If I
Oh,
take
okay.
away the light a little bit, maybe you can see it a little better. It also has a backlight kind of
Oh
situation.
yeah.
It's pretty great. And
I like
like
how it kind of has a bit of the old school look to it.
yeah, for sure. But like it's white. I'm slowly transitioning my setup to white. There's still a lot of black in here, which is okay. It's okay, but I'm more comfortable with white. Um, Here's a little sound check on the keys.
Oh yeah. Very good. Just make sure you don't stop the podcast with any keys you're pressing right
Oh
now.
yeah, I swapped over to the dock.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So anyway,
Very good.
yeah.
That's good.
So I'm really digging it. I could imagine getting a couple of these. They have one that has like a screen, like a little like 1-inch screen. I guess it gives you like temperatures and whatnot. It's and it looks like an old CTC, whatever, CTRC, whatever that. What's that called again? CRTC.
CRTC? No, that's a regulation board.
Well, whatever the
A
old
CRT?
CRT.
There you
Thank you. CRT little like monitor, but it's like only an inch by inch. It's. I'm gonna just drop a word. It's cute. It's really cute, and I
That's
want it.
nice.
But
It's
also,
nice
I
when
got
things are
bills
cute.
to pay. So
If something's cute, then sometimes your wife is more likely to let you buy it. So
yes,
that's always
I've
in the
noticed
wing
that.
column.
That is a life hack.
There you go.
I'm
Josh is
getting it.
slowly figuring it out, moving away from the crimes and more
The
of the
murder.
pleasing your wife situation. That's what you want to look for.
Anyway, yeah, no, I really like it. It has Bluetooth, and you can also wire it. So like you could just use one for a PC, one for whatever a remote laptop setup, and then one for like you plug it into your Series S or something for like keyboard support. It's a good time. And
Nice.
if you got some extra dough, I highly suggest getting into the mechanical keyboard life.
Very good. Yeah, I recently got an optical keyboard, the SteelSeries Pro, the Apex Pro. Really, really nice. Something I like about it is that you can adjust the tension of the
Mm,
keys. I got yeah, and I got my wife recently, just this past week, the Razer Huntsman Analog Optical V2.
that's right. So if you get into a hobby, make sure both parties in the marriage are into it, so you're spending twice as much.
That's right.
You
I got
gotta
it for like 1/3 of the price though. It was an awesome
support
deal.
local.
That's right. If I can get something for 1/3 price, it's usually going to happen. Depending
Mitch,
on what it is. Maybe not everything, but
you're a
I'll
hell of
usually
a
be there.
salesman and you're a hell of a consumer.
Oh yeah, it's all about balance.
Yeah.
It's all about balance. I can't just sell it all and buy nothing. No, you
So you
gotta
were
buy too.
I'm gonna press you a little bit. You were texting me a little bit about your next because Mitch is trying to make his next rig already. I'm not quite
Yeah,
there yet, but it's in the Udubla Mamlagata or whatever it's called there. It's in the back. It's in the back burner there.
Josh
But
does words good.
yeah, anyway, it's in the back burner there. But you kind of know where you're gonna go. But your issue is the CPU.
Yeah, I definitely have a few things figured out. Like Josh was saying, he likes the white builds. I like the black builds. Oddly enough,
Diversity.
this week, so I want the Fractal North XL case now.
Mm.
Awesome looking case. It's not perfect, I've seen in some reviews, but
Mm.
out of every unperfect case, because they're all unperfect, fantastic. It's
Mm.
fully up my alley, and I'm super excited that they released this XL version. It looks really, really good. And of all things, I want the XL where there's a tinted glass side.
Yeah.
This week on sale, I've seen all of the white models, and
Oh, oh,
they have a black one with a mesh side panel. The only one not on sale
the one you want.
is the one that Mitch wants. Like, of course.
You can't have anything you want.
No. Full price for the one that I want. I can have anything else on sale. If I want that one, no, it's not on sale.
Uh,
Unbelievable. But other than knowing that I want the thing that doesn't go on sale, I'm also back and forth between AMD and Intel.
Now, why is that?
So for my current rig, Ryzen 5600X, it's been awesome. Really, really good. I have no problem with my AMD CPU. But now that we're doing this, going to be doing more video editing, and I want to make sure that whatever I have is going to be versatile.
Mm,
I don't think the AMD is really going to have a problem. I think they're both going to be solid, but if something has a slight edge and is going to be more balanced, then I'll go that way. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like the AMD, I know it's going to outperform in gaming, most
yeah.
likely anyway, if I get like the X3D series.
They've always been like bang for your buck too, right?
Yeah, yeah. And even in looking, it seems like the overall build, it balances out to very similar. If I went with an i7 from Intel, then the motherboard's going to be a little bit cheaper, but the processor costs a little bit more. So that basically works out to the same. And then I think I need a slightly better cooler for the Intel as well, which I have no problem with. I'm probably going to get a really good cooler either way because I don't want to
Intel
have to worry about it.
notoriously hot.
But yeah, the Intels are generally known to run hotter. So I'm back and forth on that right now. If we get some comments on this video with some input, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, give us
But
some tips.
I'm going back and forth between those two right now. Either way, I'm sure I'm going to be happy with what I get. Part of me wants to go Intel just to try something different since I've had this for about 3 years now. It's been really good. And part of me, for some reason, is worried about going Intel.
You know, it's
It
been
doesn't
really
really
good.
matter.
I think I'm gonna throw a gear in those wrenches.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
just
They're
throw a
going way
wrench in
too
those
smooth.
gears.
Way too smooth. Let's mix it up. Let's mess it up.
You know what's missing from my life? Some troubles.
Never enough. Never enough of those.
So you got a decision to make, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. I can't make it right now.
For me, man, like AMD, I don't know if I'm going anywhere different. Like it works. It works great.
Josh
I,
is full team red. Full team
well,
red.
not on the graphics. Like, what's you gotta do it in the video. But other than that, yeah, full team red on the CPU for sure.
Yeah, something we should look into maybe in the next few weeks or something to see how Intel's doing on the GPU front too.
Yeah, yeah, because the Battle Mage is out or about to be out, eh?
Yeah, because on a slight tangent into that, I'm curious to see if Intel actually starts getting traction in the GPU space, how that's going to affect the overall market, how it's going to affect pricing, all these kinds of things.
I know it was like a driver nightmare for like the Arc series.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of issues,
but
with
also like
all kinds of little random things.
An Arc 750 was like negative $18. So
yeah,
there's that.
Price was right. Price was pretty good. I was very tempted to just try one, but I had other things to buy at the time, so I didn't
just have a spare one. And when you're not using it, I like to put it on the wall.
That's right.
Oh, I knocked over the stupid Epo Maker case. This actually comes with like a lot of accessories too.
Yeah,
like it's got a key puller. It's got like 5 or 6 switches to like if like a switch goes bad, and it has like different types of shift keys with like different types of like graphics and different types of escape keys with different types of graphics. Yeah, no.
And you're going with just like the most basic one right now?
It's not the most basic actually. This was like a bump up, but yeah.
Oh, no, I mean like the most like basic shift key.
Oh no! It doesn't say shift.
Add some color to your world, Josh.
It's got a little like thing. There's some like gunk there. Don't worry about that.
What is that?
Gunk.
Like looks like the Steam logo.
Kinda. It's like a Tony Stark, Mr. Helper robot arm.
Oh, okay. Very good.
What is on there? I think that's a beer from when I cracked my can. Anyway, don't worry about that.
Josh's keyboards aren't going to last very long. It's going to be a rotating.
I have
right
extra switches. That's what they're for.
Oh, very good. Well, we'll see how that goes. All right. So let's get into the story segments over here. Now that we've gone on enough tangents to add some extra time on here. So we're going to get into story number 1, and that's Forza Horizon 4 getting delisted. This is not a very old game.
No, no, not at all. In fact, I know someone that plays this like weekly with Forza 5. He likes to go in and back because there's
Yeah, I
yeah.
have Forza 4 on my Xbox right now. Great game. No complaints about it. I haven't got to
don't
play it as much as I'd like to,
don't try buying it anytime soon.
but with this, I mean, in a way, I can see games going this way because with
Unfortunately, yeah.
when the new one releases, especially if they're coming out frequently, it's not the same as it used to be, right? You had you used to just have a game on a disc, you bought it, that was it. Now with something like Horizon, the Forza Horizon games, their servers, it's costing money for the developer or whoever looks after the actual server side of things, whoever is taking care of that. It's costing them money to keep it going.
All right,
So you can't just
side
play it
point.
forever.
Not to interrupt you, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you this question. I'm buying you time to have a sip of your beer. Did you, at any point of your life, use your own hard-earned money, not buy a disc for a game, but a cartridge? Not a Switch cartridge, like one that goes to your TV, not a Game Boy, one that goes to your TV. Because you're a touch younger than me. I remember buying N64 games. This is my point.
Oh, yeah. Well, I never really had the only Nintendo I had was the first one.
Oh,
I
such a.
had the
And
first
we are at
Nintendo.
one point going to rank like aesthetics and like importance to the time frame that they were in. We're going to rank. We're going to tier list all these game consoles, aren't we?
Yeah, I only had the first Nintendo, then I had the Game Boys. But after the first Nintendo, then we got into PlayStation, my brother and I.
Mm.
And then I tried to get an N64 when PS2 was out, and my mom basically said, "You can get the N64 or the PS2, and don't ever ask me again to buy you the one that you didn't get." So I was like, "All right, I'll get the PS2."
You got to
Because
future proof.
the 64 was closer on its way out the door,
Mm-hmm.
so I wasn't really willing to make that commitment at that
So
time.
cartridges weren't your part of life. Anyway,
Not really.
Forza 4 and the
Game Boy, Game Boy though.
yeah. All right, looping back to Forza 4, the this is a development in gaming where servers are becoming an issue.
Yeah, it's again. There's a lot of talk of the preservation of games. There's a lot of talk of not owning things or these shifty kind of things happening that people are paying for things and then they're being taken away
It's happening with physical media too, like DVDs.
with
The all
DVDs.
Yeah, like DVD, Blu-ray, like physical media, like movies. They're moving towards like just streaming anything and everything and not even making copies
Oh,
anymore.
I thought you meant you're putting a DVD in and it's not working anymore because they're doing something. Okay,
No,
yeah,
no, no,
you
no,
mean they're
no,
just
no.
not providing physical
They're
media.
just not producing them. Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're moving towards the streaming thing, which is great, but licenses expire.
yeah, it's a really tough situation that I'd say the world has got itself in because there's a big convenience when it comes to streaming. There's a
Mhm.
big convenience when it comes to digital games.
Yep.
Even just the fact that everything is so much quicker now. We don't want to even get up to go and take out and put in a disc.
Couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
I don't have anything in my house right now that can play a DVD.
Yeah, it's if
Why?
nobody has things that can play physical media, obviously okay, people still have it, but if the majority aren't buying it, don't have anything to play it with, even CD players in cars are very rare now cuz who's buying
Yeah.
CDs?
I
You put
just
them in the
bought I
car.
just bought a CX9. I could not put a CD in it.
Yeah.
It's all
Any
CarPlay.
any new cars coming out, or even we have digital consoles, all these things now. Nobody's buying physical media anymore.
Speaking of cars and CarPlay, I went to go listen to something, one of my favorite albums, Gaslight Anthem, Sink or Swim, on Apple Music. And it had the songs that I purchased and I favorited. But all the other songs were grayed out because they moved to Spotify or something else, I guess.
Really?
And I don't have that accessible to me.
I gotta
Mm-hmm.
check that out. I feel like I listened to that just recently.
Well, you might have it. You might have it favorited or purchased from the past. Anyway,
Hmm.
I'm just saying that was a recent road trip. I couldn't look to it because I was driving, but I was like, just play boom boxes and just play it. No, won't play the song. It was grayed out.
Wow, that's crazy. I have seen it happen though. I've seen
Yeah,
it happen even with comedians. I think I had Brian Regan or something, one of his recorded comedy sketches on there, and one of them's gone.
we're gonna be begging for CD burners in the future.
Yeah, it's
So,
it.
anything else in this Forza? Yeah, I guess it's just a server issue. Like the microtransactions aren't supporting the game anymore.
I don't think so. And
Because I
just
know with
looking over
those
here,
games, you can buy like different types of paint jobs, different types of cars, and like you can unlock them, but like you can also just pay the man.
yeah. So apparently, for anyone that's bought DLC, say for Xbox, they're gonna give you a token so you can download the full game, and I think you can just play it offline after that.
Oh, okay, like a time trial thing,
Yeah,
which I think that should be the move. Like we have to like a little foresight. Like we can't keep these servers running forever. But yeah, like there should be some forethought into this because like
yeah. It's become a very broken system now
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because there's convenience, but that brings issues. And say with something like this, you pay for a game, or in a way, a lot of people that are just paying for Xbox Game Pass, they're paying every month, and you have these games, which a lot of them that aren't Xbox studios will leave eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a kind of a different scenario because it's just the game's just going to be done. It's not like, oh,
It's a
buy it
bleak
now or
future,
whatever.
man.
It's rough to see. And
Mm-hmm.
I can, like I said, I can see it happening even with games that release yearly or things like that, where they're going to retire the old one first because they need to put all the resources to the new one, because as games get bigger, as they become more demanding, they need to allocate the resources,
It's
right?
hard to argue with.
But it's it's something that people aren't going to like. Even if you list out the logic of these things,
Mm.
it's not a good situation.
Yeah, and doesn't set a good precedent for gaming in the future at
Yeah,
all.
yeah. Things are rocky, and looks like they're not going to get too much better anytime soon, but who knows? Sometimes things hit a wall, and you never know what can happen, but we will see. We will see.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right, what's next? What can you warn us about?
So moving on to the next story. This is reference actually from a CNN article by Jennifer Korn, and some of this is going to be referenced from the article. Other is somewhat general knowledge. So USB charging stations, you see these at the mall, maybe the airport, all kinds of places. They have
Oh
these
yeah, bus
places that you can go
stations. Oh
charge your
yeah,
phone. You can lock
yeah.
it up in the little
Even
thing,
some
or
movie theaters, I think they got it built into the seat too. Yeah.
yeah, lots of places. What a convenience, right? Meh, maybe.
I think Linus has shown us the harm that can come in just a cable that you just find, or a USB brick that you just find.
Yeah,
Mitch,
normally
what can they
it.
hide in a wall?
Yeah, there's so many things that can be put in the end of a cable, in the connector end there. It can work just like a USB flash drive. It can have malware on it. It can have something that's tracking. All kinds of different things. It could be a keylogger. So many things that your phone can just get hacked, get infiltrated
So
by.
what you're going to want to do is go to these charging stations, plug your phone in, go into your banking, do a couple of transfers, go into your stocks and your crypto, do a couple transfers, log in, and feel safe. That's
Yeah,
what you're going to want to do.
that's what you call a life hack, right?
Yeah, I'm getting it, man. I'm
That's a
getting it.
That's a Josh style life hack. Get hacked.
I still think kidnapping's like they know they're going to get their kid. They just got to pay for it.
Classic
No,
Josh.
maybe
Classic
not.
Josh shenanigans.
I have 2 kids, by the way. Hashtag not heartless, but want money
Well,
from my
sure.
friends.
From your friends. Very good. All right. Well, on that note, beware of USB charging stations. I would
Mm,
say bring your own charging brick, plug it into an outlet.
I would
It's your
even go
best way.
one further. Just just get a battery bank, a
Yeah.
good quality battery bank.
Battery bank is the best thing on the go.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And if you
because
don't have space for that in your skinny jeans, well, I don't know.
I
Get
don't
a
know if
bank.
any like data can be transferred over power. I'm maybe you know anything about that. I don't know anything about that, but I don't trust these people for a minute. So bring your
Yeah.
own power source
So
completely.
use caution. And it doesn't mean that every single USB charging station is bad, but it's it's like clicking on a pop-up on the internet. It could be fine. It could be Home Depot, or it could be really not Home Depot. It could be really something else.
Could be
So
her Home Depot.
yeah, so you never know what it might be. So it's always good to use caution with those public charging ports for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
All right.
moving on
Well,
to the next topic.
this is where I take over because I am the less techie literate person in this relationship. Mitch does solve every single one of my computer issues. I just want the thing to work. He says not go to sketchy sites. So then I don't. And it's worked well for me. So that's a life hack. Mitch,
Just getting there.
for real though, like for real, real, I think that's what the kids are saying. What is a core and what is a thread? Because I keep saying, oh, it's got eight cores and 16 threads. Neat. Number go up? Okay, want. As a consumer, what do these things do individually? And what do they mean?
So I've been trying to think of the best way to explain this to you, the simplest way.
Because I'm a
And
Neanderthal.
so
I like beer.
a couple points to help remember the difference and kind of what they are. A core is a physical thing. In the actual CPU, there used to just be one core. Older processors,
Like
it was
Penteons.
yeah, yeah, like the old Intel chips and all that. It used to just be a single core processor. That was your CPU. Did what it did. It had its clock speed and these different things. Now, for different reasons that we can kind of get into if you want, we have multi-core processors.
Okay.
So like Ryzen 5, I think most of the new Ryzen 5s have 6 cores. So you'll see 6 cores and 12 threads, or you might see only see 10 threads. And it depends on kind of the layout of what they've created.
So is my like caveman attempt of more or better? Is that a thing? Is that
Sometimes
okay?
it's not quite that simple. Usually, more cores in today's newer CPUs, more cores is going to be helpful. You also have to keep in mind the speed, the gigahertz, and so on.
Mm.
You kind of think of if you have, let's say you had one core, right? Compare it to, let's say in one room, you had a guy sorting marbles into different colors, okay? And he could sort 60 marbles a minute. And then in
That
the other
guy's getting a
room,
raise.
in the other room, you had somebody who could only sort 40 marbles a minute, but
Mm.
you had 4 of these people each sorting 40 marbles a minute. They're going to get more done than just the one guy in the other room, right?
Okay.
That's something to keep in mind
So the
with.
clock speed refers to every individual core.
So the clock speed, yes. So if you have 4 cores running at, let's just say 4 gigahertz, and or you have one core running at 4.5 gigahertz, your multi-core is going to be better because it's doing more
Mm.
things
Okay.
at that speed, right?
Okay. So that's why the industry turned into one core into multi-cores.
Yeah, and another reason being too is because of something called crosstalk, which is basically when there's electrical currents going, which is the way that they communicate, like a clock speed.
Okay.
Just as a slight diversion here, your clock speed is basically the voltage turning on and off.
Okay.
So one clock is on off.
How quickly that can be done.
That's right. It's
Ah.
how many times per second?
Hmm.
I forget the gigahertz off the top of my head now. I feel like I'm going to get
Yeah,
it
yeah,
wrong.
no, you
But
don't have to get too
it's
into the weeds, but
yeah, it's amazing how many on and offs it does per minute.
so that's the
Really really cool.
cores.
If you look into a little bit more uh, how the speed and all that of course and everything works, it's really cool. Really really
Hmm.
cool stuff. But because of crosstalk, when you're creating more electrical current, that kind of thing, the wires that are close together that are say in the CPU itself, if there's too much, then the wire beside it is going to also get that signal, so that messes up things and you're
Oh.
going to have things go wrong and so forth, right?
So is that
So
why they can only go so fast for like
that's one of the reasons why
oh.
you don't really see it continuously racing up for gigahertz speeds.
Okay.
Is you're seeing more cores instead of more speed, because
More hands, less faster.
that's right. Yeah.
Mm.
And something that I heard recently is they might look into using light. So fiber optic technology now, like you have for your fibe internet,
I
it
like
works with
light.
light through glass. So
Mm-hmm.
if they were able to use that technology in a processor, you're not going to get crosstalk with light. So the ability to crank up the speed would greatly increase if you no longer have to worry about crosstalk. So that's something that's
Mm.
really cool that I'm curious to see
So you're saying
if
this
they continue to work with
crosstalk
it.
is a limiting factor in this
Yes.
technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crosstalk's limiting factor in turning up core speeds.
Okay, so
Yeah.
a core is the ability to turn electricity on and off,
That's how it communicates.
like a task on and
Yeah.
off.
That's
So
because
then, what's a thread?
computers speak in binary, ones
Yeah,
and
for sure.
zeros. So like
Yeah.
a one is on and a zero is off. And that's
Mm.
how computers talk.
Okay. So then, what's a
Um,
thread doing?
so a thread is not a physical thing. It's a logical or a virtual. Uh,
So a core is more hardware, and the thread is more software. Is that a
yeah,
dumb way?
I would say so, because a
Okay.
thread is it's the common kind of thought process on a thread is that, oh, it makes your core into two cores. In a way, that's true, um, but not totally. That's not that simple.
Okay.
It will create virtual cores on your machine, basically. Like if you open up your task manager and you can look at all your cores. If you have a 6-core processor that has 12 threads, it will show you 12 cores usually in your task manager, or maybe it'll
Mm.
show you 10. Again, they don't always have 2 threads per core, depending on the design and the architecture of the chip. But it looks like you have that many, but it's just a way that it will divide tasks to make it more efficient, and uses what they call scheduling and priority to make tasks happen quickly and efficiently. Without getting
Okay.
too deep into it, that's
So it's
kind of
a
the
program
simplest way
almost.
of explaining it.
So it's a program.
Sort of threads are more of a software
Okay.
because they're not a physical item.
But it helps the cores do their job quicker.
It helps with efficiency. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
So,
All right. That
and that's
actually
called hyperthreading.
okay.
Yeah.
That clears up a lot for me. Now, when you introduce the fiber optics to that, like, does that negate the need for hyperthreading? Because like, there's no crosstalk, and now your cores can do literally anything you want.
Not necessarily. It would still probably be used to help with scheduling and
Mm.
dividing and efficiency and stuff like that. You would be able to do obviously different things faster,
Mm.
but hyper-threading would still have a use in that scenario for sure.
Okay. I learned more than I let on that. So, good job,
So there's a
Profess.
lot more that you can get into,
And
but
I'm
we
sure we
don't we
will
don't need yeah, we don't need to get into all of that right
down the
now.
road.
But that's a quick kind of surface difference between cores and threads. And it's I love learning about that stuff and getting really in depth
Mm.
about it. Uh,
Okay, if you can give me like a really quick like Cole's notes on AMD's approach to this stuff versus Intel's approach to this stuff.
I would say one of the main differences right now is you see that Intel has the P cores and the E cores
Mm-hmm. So that is efficiency cores
and
and
performance.
performance cores. Yeah.
So the E cores are smaller than the P cores, so you can fit more of them on the physical chip.
Mm. It's
So
amazing. This is all made of silicon.
yeah, and it fits in those little chips. It's really cool when you start looking into it even more. But
Mm.
yeah, I would say that's the main just kind of quick difference you'll see is the E cores and the P cores. Something like the X3D, it makes use of the cache memory differently.
Okay.
And the cache memory is like RAM.
On
It
the chip.
on the chip itself. Yeah. So you
Mm.
have your L1, your L2, and your L3 cache in the CPU itself, and then outside of that, then you'll go to the actual RAM sticks on your board.
Hmm.
So that's something AMD's optimized is using that the
Which
L3
which
cache.
which I've always been a fan of, just because of the benchmarks. Like the X3D stuff, like is coveted by all the gamers because of the benchmarks, and it's probably because of what you just said. Like,
Yeah, they both are doing different things they're focusing on with innovation, and it's great. Honestly, it would be better if there were even more chip manufacturers because competition
enter
creates
Snapdragon.
innovation. If there was no AMD and there was just Intel
What?
wouldn't really care to innovate. They'd just be like, yeah,
Why would they
we'll
press
slowly make it a little better to keep up with the progression
money?
of technology and yeah, to keep people buying it, but they're not going to push themselves. If you have no competition and everyone's going to buy it because you're the only one, what do you care? Right?
Mm.
So having competition creates new innovation, creates better pricing, all these things. So it's nice to see the two of them doing different things, and then the others like, oh well, we got to try to beat that or do something similar, and then create that. I love to see the competition and the new things they come up with.
Yeah, and it's fun to see the launch kind of like windows. Like they'll kind of like do it together, kind of like trying to one up each other. Like on a consumer level, it's very entertaining.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think now that we've exploded everyone's brains with basic knowledge, we should move on to our win or loss.
Yeah. All right. So this is the W or L part of the video, and you can let us know in the comments below, W or L, what you think of each one of these as well.
Maybe we'll
We'll,
start tallying them one day,
yeah,
and we'll truly know
make
if it was a W or L.
make some kind of a poll or something. Okay, so this first one's on YouTube. It's from Setup Spawn,
You gonna share your screen there?
and yeah, we're gonna pull this up right here.
Basically, this man has found a website to produce a blue screen or an update screen, and you can actually type in how long you want your Windows update, quote unquote, to take. So you can, sorry, boss, I got an update. It'll be about 25 minutes. Anyway, so I'm going to go hit the can, maybe grab a Slim Jim, bag of chips, and we'll see. Meet you back in half an hour. So
Yeah,
I think this is a win at risk of losing your job, but a win.
yeah, I would say I would say it's an L. If you're actually doing it at work,
Listen,
this kind of groups into your earlier life hacks of just
this is a
like
life hack, bro.
of like time theft, basically.
So what he's describing is actual time theft, which I'm okay with as long as you know that going in. If you know that going in and you're an adult, you can make your own choices.
So yeah, I'm gonna say it's an L on this one. I'd say a W on a prank on your friends, but an L at work because
Or maybe like, oh,
it's not
sorry,
worth.
wife. I know I got to do the dishes, but like this update is pretty pressing. It'd be about a half an hour. Why don't you? I'll take care of it tomorrow. You take care of it tonight. No, or is that time theft too?
I don't know. Your your wife might have something to say about that one.
Treat your wives with respect. Love you.
That's right.
All right, so we
Okay.
have another one. This one
All
is
right.
from TikTok.
Next one's from TikTok, and this is from Ted's Tech. Ted's underscore tech. Here we go.
Task Manager will open. Then click on the Performance tab and you'll see your computer's uptime at the bottom of your screen. This number basically tells you how long your PC has been running for. My uptime is almost 8 hours even though I just turned my PC on. This is because every time you turn your PC off by just hitting the power button, your PC actually doesn't fully shut off. When I turn my computer back on and check the uptime, it's still almost 8 hours. This can kill your components over time, but here's how to fix it. Hit the Windows key and type in choose a power plan. Open that up and then click choose what the power buttons do. Click change settings that are currently unavailable and then uncheck turn on fast startup. Then click save changes. Now when you turn your PC off, it will fully shut down.
All right. Well, I'll go first. I got a quick take. This is an L.
For what reason?
Your computer can clearly handle it. We're living in an age of such graphical fidelity, such great efficiency. You can make money by having your GPU mine Bitcoin for you. I think it's okay being, asleep.
Well, it depends. Like,
Oh, like if this is a
it is good to
workstation,
shut it down,
every once
but
in a while, but I don't think you need to fret every time like, oh no, I need to go to sleep for 8 hours. Better unplug this from the wall and rub a magnet on it just in case. Don't do that. That's not a life hack. But anyway, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
your computers can handle this. It's nothing to fret about.
it's not a huge issue. At the end of the day, it's good to do like a full shutdown and restart your computer here and there. It just helps kind of clear things out. But yeah, this is just something that I think he found that's an interesting little tip. It's not a necessity,
Yeah. So no need to knife fight about this one
I suppose.
because I had my shiv ready to go. All right, so that was YouTube, that was TikTok, and next is the gram of the Insta variety.
All right, so
You got to get that gram instantly, or else what are you doing? So it's the meme of the what do you mean? What do you mean? The hot ones. Who's that? Who's that actress?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. So she's like rubbing her face with a blanket, and she's like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" And it's when Google agrees to delete data collected from user browsing in incognito mode following settlement. Yeah. So basically, incognito mode. What does that do for you there, Mitch?
So recently, there's been a lot of news about incognito mode for Google and stuff, and people would go on incognito mode to on the lighter side of things to look up flights and things like that. In there was a certain way I heard you could look up flights in incognito mode and you would get better deals because I don't know, they wouldn't see where you were or some weird stuff like that.
That's the
I don't know if
least
that even worked.
nefarious thing you could do in incognito
But
mode.
there's a lot of things that people would do in
Pirates,
incognito mode that they just thought they weren't being tracked on anything,
adult needs.
but that wasn't the case at all.
Yeah,
Google
no.
might not have tracked some things. They didn't track nothing. but other sites could track what you were doing.
And then use that to sell to you, which I hate. I honestly hate when X company I never heard about tells me about an interest I have. That's invasive. Helpful. Invasive, though.
Yeah,
So
it's another one of those things that's a little
I say that's an
awkward.
L. Give us a true incognito mode. Give
Oh
us
yeah,
like a
that's a definite L.
virtual.
Definite L on incognito mode. Not being
Bam!
incognito.
You lose.
L for loss and lie on that one.
2 L's. Give them the old double L.
It's a square.
All right. Well, we're down to our last segment there, Mitch, and I'm a little heartbroken because it's our last segment, but I'm joyful because we get to tell our listeners about our favorite creators. And bring up mine there. You already know what it is if you don't mind. We're just gonna show a snippet of his channel, and I'll describe what I like about him and what he's known for. And this man is on YouTube, and he is referred to as basically homeless. And he's a tech YouTuber. So he won me over with his horse-powered computer, literally powered by a horse. He also has a funny one where he goes in the Canadian winter in a tent, no heater. The only thing that he has for heat is not a fire, is not a furnace or an electric heater of any sort. It is a gaming PC. So like he runs benchmarks overnight while having Elden Ring on pause, and he's just like overloading his PC so he could sleep comfortably. But there's a little twist in that video. I won't spoil it, but he wakes up a little cold. And yeah, this basically homeless guy. And like he'll take the most backwards ass approach to something. It's so funny. He has this like crappy setups where like people like send him like stuff and he has to incorporate it on a setup. Like you'll have like a 3-inch screen, a Raspberry Pi, and a calculator, and he has to make it like into like something you can play Minecraft with. He'll
Yeah, I haven't watched much of his stuff.
Oh, it's great.
Josh lives on this guy's page.
Oh, because
But
it's tech, but it's humor. It's both my interests. He also does this thing where like he'll on purpose give his computer like 1,000 viruses, and then give it to like Best Buy Geek Squad. Be like, I don't know, man. I just got it out of the box. See what you can do. And then he'll like judge like how well they did. It's pretty great.
oh, that's great.
So yeah, check out Basically Homeless. He's a great YouTuber. His uploads are kind of like monthly, I find. So don't be hitting him up on the daily, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely a great YouTuber for sure. Someone newer that I've been checking out, not necessarily newer to YouTube, but just new for me anyway, is this page over here. I don't know if it's Zenkai. I think it's Zenkai. Maybe it's Zenkai Goose. Canadian, just like us.
Yeah.
Not that really matters, but
computers.
Canada computers. Really, really great content. Some of the best editing I've seen, actually.
He almost does really like documentary-esque stuff, eh?
Yeah. Brings out different stories with like the feeling and the build-ups and the quick humor and different things like that.
And he makes you feel like when he's like retrospecting something, like the PS2 days, he makes you feel like a 9-year-old again.
Yeah. Yeah. Bring it back to PS2 or to Game Boy or whatever. Really, really have enjoyed his videos just for about, I think the past month or so. I just started checking out some of his stuff, and it's been really, really good. On top of that, I'd say we both have been big fans of Linus Tech Tips, Jay's 2 Cents, and
staples of the community, really.
Yeah,
But I think anybody listening to this knows who they are for sure.
Oh yeah. So they were definitely inspirations to us. And uh, one more quick shout out is Robitech.
Yeah,
That's
that you
he's
want to
someone who
learn
I
how
checked
to
out.
build a computer well.
Yeah,
Go to him.
like that was the first channel I checked out that really got me into PC building and that kind of stuff. And I think he started during the pandemic when everything was closed.
Oh, is that right?
I think, yeah, he hasn't been doing it for very long. Really good guy, cool stuff. Was a developer for, I think he worked on a lot of big Xbox games back in the day.
Mm.
Um, he in one of his streams, he talked about, I think, some of the games he worked on: Halo, Fable,
Mm.
a bunch of like big titles that you know everybody knows about.
Mm.
So good guy, knows what he's doing, and it's been really nice to watch his channel grow and just see him do his thing.
Yeah, it's great supporting these guys because like they give us entertainment while we're on the toilet or lying in bed, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
let's show them some love. Not that they
exactly.
need any from us, but we can still show respect.
Oh yeah, always.
All right, well that's been a swell podcast, man. I learned a lot actually, and I had fun along the way, and perhaps I'll learn what a life hack truly is.
Yeah, it's been a good show today. Much better than last week. Episode 2 really took it up a notch.
In the books.
Very, very good.
I like that we got a format and like this is a production. We're producing.
Oh yeah.
You got to subscribe for the production alone.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Use that little bell and set the notifications to all, because everybody loves extra banners on their screen, right?
And tell us mean things too in the comment section. Like really try to rip us a new one.
Yeah,
Who knows?
like,
we might do a.
Wasn't that guy wearing a hat last week? His hairline's not doing so good.
I didn't say a damn thing. Anyway, despite that, we'll carry on. Maybe not his hairline, but
yeah, this has been the Broken Port Podcast, and go break a port.
it's fun.
Yeah.
And shiv someone.
Don't listen to Josh's life hacks.
Bye.
Later.